Hey you guys, last week we talked about, or my last video, we talked about how to not gain any weight and how to maintain your weight on vacation. And this week we're going to talk about how to be okay with gaining a few pounds on vacation and liberalizing your plan. If you stay to the end, you'll see some pictures from my newest vacation and you'll get my take on weighing yourself and why that's so important. And how sometimes it's not so important. Also, if you guys like this video, please hit the like button and please share it so more people can learn how to lose weight and also how to be nice to themselves in the process. That would be great. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julie. I am an emotional eating health coach. I help people gain control of their thoughts to lose weight and gain their health back. This video will be geared more towards those who are in maintenance mode, or for those of you who have been on this weight loss journey for a really long time and just need a break. And if you have the momentum going and you don't want to stop, don't do this. Just turn this video off right now or fast forward to the end about weighing yourself. Because I don't want to stop your momentum, but there's some of us who are in maintenance mode and some of us who have been on the journey for a while and we're a little burned out. So this is for you guys. And also we're going to talk about how to lose the weight when you get back, instead of keeping it on like a lot of people do. A lot of people, well, they say that the average person gains about a pound a year. So we don't want to do that. And if you don't do anything about it when you get home, you may be one of those people that keeps an extra pound a year on. And so when you think about it, 10 years from now, if you keep going, you'll be 10 pounds heavier. So really important to think about the weight loss part afterwards. So on to the topic. Before I found out about the plan, I would eat with abandon on vacation. And when I got home, my clothes didn't fit me anymore. Or when I was younger, 2 weeks later, I would have gained the weight. I wouldn't have seen it until 2 weeks later. Because what would happen is I would be like, oh, I ate this way on vacation. I didn't gain any weight. So I may as well just keep eating this way. This is fun. And then 2 weeks later, it had accumulated enough to where my clothes didn't fit me anymore. But as I got older, I started to see the consequences of it a lot sooner. Like I would see it immediately, like even during my vacation, my clothes would stop fitting. Yeah, because things just get a little different when you're older. And so I want to talk about how to stick with the building the new neural pathway process, because that is so important. That is the key here, is not destroying the neural pathway that you're building on this weight loss journey, but keeping it. So what you do is you make a whole new liberalized plan. You say, I'm going to eat more of what I normally eat, or I'm going to eat different things. Like maybe you'll stick to your plan like you normally would, a very strict plan during the daytime, but at nighttime when everybody's going out to eat, eating new food, having the s'mores, maybe you'll say, I'm going to eat that food and only to full, not past full. And I'm gonna have the s'mores when everybody's roasting marshmallows and eating marshmallows with chocolate on it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have a little fun here. And then maybe also saying, I'm going to let myself get hungry more often. I'm gonna allow more time between meals and maybe keeping a little snack baggie around with some food that you can eat only when you're hungry to help keep you from getting a headache. You know what I mean? Like not getting overly hungry because you still want to enjoy your vacation, okay? So when I say allow yourself to get hungry, I don't mean beyond reason so that you're hangry and you're hating on people. So that's where the snack baggies come in. When I say snack baggies, I'm not talking about getting a quart-sized bag and putting your snacks in it. I'm talking about getting one of those little Ziploc snack baggies and putting little portions in it. For me, what I would put in a snack baggie is food like fat-free beef jerky or fat-free pretzels or grapes. Something that on my plan is a free food, so to speak. Free food. There's really never a free food if you're eating past hungry though. So these are usually just things that will minimize my weight gain. Like pretzels, definitely not a free food. But I'm not gonna put enough in the snack bag that would make me gain weight. You know, like if I had a whole bag of pretzels, I would gain some weight. So that's what I do. But you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to do what I do. You can make your plan however you want, but make sure you make that plan to minimize the damages. Because when you get back, you're gonna have to pay the piper, right? You're gonna have to lose the weight. You're gonna have, and you gotta keep that in mind during this process, but not in a way that you're gonna be like critical of yourself, not in a way that you're gonna be scared, but in a way that you can say, it's okay, you know, what I'm doing is fine. The weight gain is gonna be minimal, we'll be fine. Do it that way. And that way you'll have the best of both worlds. You'll be able to enjoy your vacation with a new food adventure here and there and without gaining too much weight. But you're gonna gain some. If you're like me, that is, you may. I know I do. And when I gain weight, it only takes like 3 or 4 pounds before I notice it. But I notice it like in my face, and I notice it in my gut area, like my clothes don't fit me as well. Yeah, because I'm a little person. And I don't mean little like as in I'm a little skinny person, but I mean little like I'm a compact person. So any kind of weight like shows up on me immediately. And remember I said I was gonna help you know how to lose the weight when you get back. So I'm gonna give you 3 different options. The first option would be for those of you who are like me and you have a stressful lifestyle. You have maybe stressful family, stressful work, whatever. You have some stressors. I mean, well, we all have stressors, but if you have excess stressors in your life, or you struggle with PTSD, then you will want to do this first method, which would be going back to your original plan that you had before and just waiting for the weight to slowly melt off. And it is slow. Usually takes about a couple of months before you start to see the weight melt off by doing it this way. I just go back to my maintenance plan. I guess that just depends. Some times are better and easier than others, depending on how much stress I'm under. Because if you're under a lot of stress and you try to drill it down too much, you try to lose weight too quickly, it's gonna have a rebound effect, and you're actually gonna end up gaining more weight back. So, and I don't mean in a way of like you're gonna binge. I mean, some people do, but what I'm talking about is the cortisol that you release is gonna make you gain the weight in the middle, and it's gonna halt the weight loss process. So sometimes slow weight loss is the best weight loss. The second option, for those of you who don't struggle with PTSD or you just have the regular amount of stress in your life, tighten your plan down. So maybe like cut out your snacks or do some intermittent fasting, or intermittent fasting where you have like a window of time in the daytime where you eat all the food on your plan, and then you have a longer window of time that you don't eat. That would be another option. Then the third option would be to, if you are low carb, high fat, to go to high fat, low carb. Hold on, did I do that right? If you have been doing low carb, high fat, go to high carb, low fat. Why is that so hard? Anyways, switch it up, because what that does is it's food that you eat is filling up a different nutritional tank. So if you've been doing a eating method or style for a long time, you filled up those nutritional deficits, and now the overflow is going into your fat stores. So when you switch it up and now you're eating a whole new spectrum of foods, Now, like, all that food is getting used. Nothing is going into a food storage tank. Unless you're eating too much fat, that is, for some people, not everyone. Some people can eat all the fat as long as you're keeping the carbs really, really low. If you're eating high fat, you're gonna lose some weight. But be careful here. If you combine fats and carbs together, it's a recipe for disaster. So you gotta really be checking out your macros. Macros being fat, protein, carbs. Those are macros. And so be very specific about making sure you don't add in too many carbs if you're gonna do high fat, and vice versa if you're gonna do low fat, high carb. Don't add in too much fat if you're gonna add in high carbs. So that's how you lose the weight when you get back from vacation. So now I told you guys I would go into my take on weighing yourself. So I only weigh myself when I'm in weight loss mode or when I'm switching up my plan. Because if you have been eating a certain way for a really long time, keeping the weight off, there's really no need to weigh yourself because your weight's always gonna fluctuate by 5 pounds. And this is normal. And if you weigh yourself constantly, it's just, you're always gonna be, for some of you, on a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster. And there's really no need to if you know you're sticking to your plan. But for those of you who are not sticking to a plan or you're changing it up, it's very helpful, and you're trying to lose weight, it's very helpful to weigh yourself. For one, to see if it's working. And for two, to make sure you're not sneaking some things in on yourself, or that you're not increasing too much on certain things. And it kind of keeps you motivated. Well, not kind of, it does. It keeps me motivated when I'm losing weight to weigh myself. And I only do it once a week. I try to stick to the same day of the week and just do my median weight. And like I said, you're always gonna fluctuate 5 pounds, even in the weight loss process. So don't be alarmed if the next week you're 5 pounds heavier. Or sorry, let's not say 5 pounds. Maybe if you're 2 pounds heavier and you're in the weight loss phase, don't be too alarmed. But if you're 5 pounds heavier, maybe you should tweak something a little bit. Like sometimes it can just be like you ate a lot of salt the day before, or maybe your body has gone into a stress response and it's holding on to everything. So it's a good way to just kind of keep an eye on those things. So that's it. That's my take on weighing yourself. And I also wanted to share something I felt God impressed for me to share with you guys that I learned on vacation. And that is how to help with anxiety, which causes people to gain weight. And that is to be in the moment as much as you possibly can. I know this sounds cliche, but here's why I thought about this. I brought my dog with me on vacation. And when I get really stressed out about something, whatever, when I go on vacation, I get stressed out because I'm out of my element, I'm out of my routine, and routine is so comforting to me. Being in my eating routine, being in my workout routine, being in my day-to-day doing routine is so comforting. And so being out of that causes me a lot of anxiety. And so I brought my dog with me, and I would be petting my dog, loving on my dog. Whenever I would do that, I would find like my anxiety just completely disappeared. It just helps so much. And so I realized that it's kind of like that with God. When you're in the moment, you're with God, because God is in the moment. God's not in the future. God's not in the past. God's in the moment. Anxiety lives in the future and shame lives in the past, but God is right here, right now. So when you're praising God, when you're grateful for what you have right here, right now, whatever that may be, even negative emotions sometimes, be grateful for that, because you can fuel the negative emotion. You can use the negative emotion as fuel to get you going in the right direction. Then you are in the moment. It takes you out of the anxiety. It takes you out of the shame. I mean, how many of us out there who are actually in both places at the same time, future and past? Like, we got the shame and the anxiety going. That can be me so many times. And I thought about it, and I'm like, dog, spelt backwards is God. And they use dogs as therapy animals because they bring us to the present. But if we can get in the present with God, we don't even need a dog to be healed. We don't even need a dog to come back to the present and to be grateful. We can just praise and worship God. We can turn on the worship music. We can just be quiet before God and just acknowledge that He's there with us and comforting us and instructing us. And that will help so much with anxiety. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I took so many pictures on this trip. I went on some hikes, and on the hikes, I kind of remembered that in the past, I had so much shame with my body. I had so much condemnation that when I would go on a hike in the mountains, I was not enjoying the scenery. I was like, come on, move, fatty, move, move, move. You need to get this weight off. It was not relaxing at all. And I would not look at my surroundings. But on this trip, I felt God impressing on my spirit so much to be in the moment. So I stopped and I took pictures of the flowers. I took pictures of the trees, took pictures of me and my husband. Just really savored the smell of the trees, all the little tiny everything, like the chipmunks, the insects, like the butterflies and the not the fireflies. There were no fireflies. Oh, what are those things called? The dragonflies. That's the word I'm looking for. I just savored that and appreciated it so much, and appreciated the fact that I wasn't so hard on myself and that I could allow myself to enjoy the hike and nature and beauty and everything that God created. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I want to say it again if I did. Please hit the like button if you like these videos, and share it so other people can learn and whatever. If you think it's helpful and you think it will help for others, please share. And that's it. I hope you guys have a super blessed week, and bye. We are at Tony Grove Lake, and Ray Dad is fishing. And Camille sitting with us, and there's beautiful flowers everywhere. Looks like the Swiss Alps up here.